Among the fjords of Patagonia, they are impossible to miss. Salmon farms are everywhere. Inside these floating pens, hundreds of thousands of fish are being farmed, soon to be exported to the United States, Europe, and Japan.
Here we have 8 pens, each 40 meters long by 40 meters wide. There are roughly 100,000 fish in each one.
This site belongs to one of Chile's largest salmon producers. Company officials say production here is much more regulated than it used to be.
The National Fisheries Authority inspects us 3 or 4 times during each production cycle, sometimes even more. Regulations are much stricter than they used to be. We can't simply move to another location anymore. If something goes wrong, we have to stop production. In the past, there were other options, but that wouldn't be possible today. Technology also helps us protect these sites.
In just a few decades, Chile has become the world's second largest salmon producer after Norway. For southern Chile, it has been an economic windfall. The industry has helped develop the region and now employs around 80,000 people, both directly and indirectly. But that rapid growth has come with consequences.
I worked in this industry, and it caused all of this. Now I've learned to live with the pain.
Nestor spent 32 years working as a diver, maintaining salmon cages. Today, he suffers from osteonecrosis, a painful and irreversible bone disease caused by repeated, rapid ascents.
We worked from 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. We'd come out of the water quickly for lunch, then go right back in because that's what the industry demanded. You dive to 25 meters, and you would have to do that 20 times a day. Imagine that, 20 dives to the same depth.
Now officially a disabled worker, he says conditions have recently improved, but accidents still happen. 7 workers have died so far this year. Today, Liliana is meeting with her lawyer. Her husband is one of 90 workers who have died in 12 years, according to NGO Ecocéanos.
Here he is with his diving gear. He was about to go underwater. You can see he already has his mask on.
9 years ago, this diver died while working at a salmon farm where maintenance had been subcontracted.
That day, he was working at a depth of 40 meters using equipment designed for only 20 meters. He suffered a medical complication because the equipment wasn't appropriate for the depth.
Liliana says the company initially tried to cover up what happened.
When we arrived, we went to the company and they told us Jorge had committed suicide. No way.
Since then, she has been fighting for justice and has already won 2 lawsuits against the company.
They've never helped us. They never even offered their condolences, not once. And every question we asked was met with silence.
We asked the industry how companies are protecting their workers. The Salmon Council, which represents Chile's 6 largest producers, says it is working with the International Labor Organization to improve safety.
We believe we're moving in the right direction. Of course, we regret every accident, especially those that are serious or fatal. We want to prevent them. Building a safe industry means facing these challenges and responding to criticism. And that's what we're doing.
A new law has also just been passed to better regulate diving work.
When we work together with the government to pass a new law for divers, it shows our commitment to preventing accidents.
But salmon farming doesn't only affect workers. Scientists like Vreni Huyserman have been warning for years about long-term environmental damage. She has spent 3 decades documenting marine life in Patagonia.
Patagonia's biodiversity is very unique. It's considered a biodiversity hotspot, and this is one of the species most affected by salmon farming.
In some areas, biodiversity has declined by 75% in just 10 years due to fish farms.
What we're seeing is the disappearance of certain species. Fish farms release nutrients into the water. When nutrient levels rise, biodiversity usually drops because only a few species can tolerate these conditions.
Some communities are now pushing back. North of Puerto Montt in the Los Lagos region, residents are testing water quality in a local river. Their goal? To create a protected area. They hope to stop the construction of a smolt facility, a hatchery for young salmon located upstream.
We oppose the project because this river has some of the richest biodiversity in the country, and it's also one of the cleanest. The company didn't submit an environmental impact study, so we don't know what the consequences will be. But based on what we've seen from this industry elsewhere, the damage can be irreversible.
The main concern, wastewater discharge into rivers from these facilities. One company agreed to show us its internal operations, to explain how it manages water at its hatchery. Here, water from the tanks is treated and reused, reducing the need to draw from the river.
Water from the tanks is sent to this area. It goes through a mechanical filtration system, then through another filter to remove ammonia produced by the fish. After that, the water is disinfected and reoxygenated before being used again.
At the national level, Chile is now considering banning salmon farms from protected areas as companies continue expanding further south into Patagonia. But the proposal is deeply unpopular among industry workers who fear job losses. 40 years after the first salmon farms were installed, Chile still faces the same dilemma: how to balance environmental protection with economic growth.